Welcome to the second installment of narrative writing. Last time we talked about what narrative writing is and how you compose a piece of narrative writing. Today we're talking about some of the features of narrative writing. So, some of the things that you need to know. All narratives need three things. First thing they need is characters. They also need a setting. And of course, an action. Characters, of course, are the people or the creatures that your reader are going to care about. So I put in some examples of characters that we all know and love. Harry Potter, of course. We have, obviously Katniss from the Hunger Games series, and then our Maze Runner series. Setting. You want to keep in mind a familiar place that you can clearly describe for your readers. So here's an example from J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, The Order of Phoenix. The walls were made of dark stone, dimly lit by torches. Empty benches rose on either side of him. But ahead, in the highest benches of all, were many shadowy figures. They had been talking in low voices, but as the heavy door swung closed behind Harry, an ominous silence fell. And as you can see, J.K. Rowling does a really good job of making you clearly see the setting. And the last thing you need to keep in mind is action. Something interesting has got to happen in your story. So here's just a little, this is actually the opening line from Stormbreaker by Alex Rider. When the doorbell rings at 3 in the morning, it's never good news. So starting out from the beginning of the story, that there's going to be some sort of action, and you've already hooked the reader with that action. Whenever you are writing a narrative, TAP is what you need to keep in mind. TAP stands for topic, audience, and purpose. So topic is who or what your story is about. You need to have a character, a setting, a problem resolution, all of those in mind when you are writing. So everything you do when you're writing a narrative should always be focused back on what is your topic. Always revert back to your topic. What is happening in the story? You want to, of course, keep your audience in mind. Who's going to be reading your story? That tone needs to be appropriate for your reader and your topic. So I put myself in there because most of the time I will be your audience. So most of the work you will be doing will be scholastic kind of work. So you need to keep me in mind and think what would make your teacher happy. And a purpose. Why are you writing your story? What do you want the reader to feel or experience? Okay, so you're going to have very different tone and voice if you are writing something that is a paper that's an argumentative piece or a narrative that is to be graded for class versus a creative writing piece in which you get to be funny and have your personality show through. Don't get me wrong, there's always an opportunity to show your personality, but you don't want to be sarcastic or not professional in some of your writing. So just always keep in mind, what is the purpose? What are you hoping to accomplish with this task and with this piece of writing? So another thing you want to keep in mind is to describe. You want to show, not tell. So be sure that you have details in your story that let your reader experience what the characters are experiencing. You want to explain it so that the reader can get that mental picture of the characters and the setting and the action in their mind. So those details in that describing what's going on allows your reader to go into the story with you and picture what you want them to see and what is happening in the story. I'm going to read just a little excerpt of something. This is a story that is lacking a lot of details, a lot of description. So here it goes. I got up at 6 a.m. I got annoyed with the alarm clock and got hurt when I hit the clock too hard. I got into the shower. I got chilled because my sister had used up all the hot water. I got dressed. I got into the kitchen after all the eggs and toast were gone. I got myself a breakfast of cereal and juice. I got a stain on my shirt. I got a different shirt. I got my stuff together and I got it all in my backpack. I got yelled at by my mom for lagging. I got irritated by the way the morning was going. I got in trouble for keeping my carpool waiting. I got in the back seat of the car with 2 other people. We got a ticket for speeding on the way to school. We got to school late. I got detention for being late. I got behind in the assignment given in my first period class. I got a bad grade on the assignment. They have gone through in chronological order everything that happened, which we know we want in a narrative to have things happen in order, but notice that there are no details whatsoever. So this is actually what you are going to be doing in class tomorrow. Tomorrow you will work with a partner in class tomorrow, and you will rewrite this narrative so that it describes and shows what is actually happening. You might decide that you want to cut out some of the part of the narrative and focus on one section and really describe that section out, or maybe you want to retell the whole events. But again, adding those details, keeping in mind your topic, audience, and purpose, okay? Describing so that your reader gets that mental image, okay? You will do that tomorrow in class with a partner.